For analysis of Britney Spears' L.A. hearing, we're going to bring in now family law attorney Christopher Melcher of Walser Melcher. Christopher, thanks so much for joining us.
Well, thanks, Phil, for having me. It was a great day today.
All right, so from everything we've heard, do you think the judge made the right decision? Obviously, from your response, you do. But do you think she should have done it sooner?
Well, this conservatorship should have never existed. It was placed on her 13 years ago without any determination that she lacked the capacity to provide food, clothing, and shelter, or resist fraud or undue influence, and those are the standards for a conservatorship. There was no evidence that any of that existed, so it should have ended a long time ago, should have never started.
Along those lines, we've talked to you in the past about if, or more likely when, this conservatorship would end entirely. Another hearing will be set in a few weeks, but are you surprised this termination didn't happen today?
Well, it's kind of surreal to hear Britney's attorney arguing against immediate termination of the conservatorship. That's free Britney. That's what we all wanted to see. But there was a strategic move why Jamie Spears, the father, asked to end the conservatorship today. He wanted it done so that the records relating to the last 13 years of communications between Jamie and the lawyers for the conservatorship would potentially be sealed up and not accessible. So that was a main reason why Matthew Rosengart said, no, let's put a temporary conservator in place, and that temporary conservator will have the right to demand all of these communications that Jamie Spears has had with these attorneys over the last 13 years, and it's got to be a goldmine of evidence in there.
Hey, Christopher, we just showed a glimpse of Britney Spears' many accomplishments and her hard work during the decade plus she's been under this conservatorship. Does she appear to you to be the typical conservatee, a person who cannot manage their own finances, their own affairs?
No, there was no reason to have her under a conservatorship, and if the court would have used an ounce of common sense all this time, it would have seen publicly, like we all did, somebody working, doing a Las Vegas residency. I don't know how anyone could do that. That's a lot of work. A conservatee would never be able to do that. We should be able to know within seconds that somebody is that disabled, they're incapacitated, they have dementia, that kind of stuff. They have lifelong, life-ending illness. That's what a conservatorship involves. So the court was, I mean, it just makes no common sense that the court would have imposed this, and certainly when it saw the history of her earnings and working, that it would have continued it. So we certainly have a lot more to learn, but this is a failure of the court system for sure.
And there were two parallel stories sort of going on at the same time here. We've been hearing shocking accusations against Jamie Spears. Could he potentially face legal jeopardy over his handling of this conservatorship?
Well, absolutely he will. There's going to be civil consequences, meaning that he could be sued for money, but there's also potential criminal exposure for the recordings that were made of Britney Spears, the most intimate moments potentially in her life recorded. She was being monitored, and that wasn't because the dad was interested in what she was doing. It helps lock her into this conservatorship, because how can you get help when you can't talk to anyone without your communications being monitored? Jamie Spears is just one component of this thing. He's not a sophisticated person. He was assisted with lawyers and other people. Those are the ones that I think are going to have to be looked at very carefully as to what their roles were in this, because he certainly did not act alone.
And this so much isn't a legal question, but finally, I'd like your opinion on this. Spears' passionate fans have been worried about her for years, as you know. Many dismissed them as the Free Britney movement. It was a conspiracy, an online conspiracy. Do you think they have been vindicated?
Well, absolutely. And the reason why they got painted that way in the first place is because Jamie Spears and those that were helping him were painting the Free Britney Spears movement as being conspiracy buffs and making Britney look like she was crazy. We know this from some court records that they were even monitoring people in the Free Britney movement. So now that that influence is taken away, the fans are here out of love and support for her. And what's sad about it is that the other people in this courthouse that are going through similar experiences don't have fans, don't have money to defend themselves. And I'm hoping and I think that the Free Britney movement will survive after this to help other people.
Christopher Melcher, thanks so much for your legal expertise tonight.
Thanks, Phil.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.